First off, it's not called a library. The Idea Exchange rebranded itself years ago to reflect the diverse amount of services that you can get from it. While the traditional library is a building that lets you borrow books and then fines you when you don't bring them back in time, the Idea Exchange is a hub of information and experiences. You'll be wonderfully surprised at the services you can get and the items that you can borrow with your membership card. Cambridge has 5 locations. The historic building in Hespeler that was financed by the Scottish-American multimillionaire Andrew Carnegie and then later clad in glass. Clements Mills, which is in the St. Benedict's School building. Preston. Queen Square. And the spectacular Old Post Office. The Idea Exchange has, at times, had to modify its hours and service and have put a link to the description to get you to their website to see their latest updates. Getting a membership card is easy. Bring in proof with your full name and current Cambridge address, and complete and sign the membership form. For children, adults will do this on their behalf. What do you want to do? What do you want to learn? Or are you just looking for entertainment? Starting with the typical library items, the Idea Exchange lets you take out books and magazines, plus large print books that are easy on the eye. For those of you that like to make reading a more social gathering, there's book club kits. Bestsellers and more are available, or you can register for one of the virtual book clubs. That's wonderful in itself, but let's layer onto that the movies, shows, and documentaries that are available on DVDs, and the music that's on CDs. Easy enough to see what's available on the Idea Exchange website through the search feature. Want to learn ballroom dancing? Watch a popular movie? Or keep your kids entertained? Then search through the Idea Exchange catalog. Now, this is not the only way to watch visuals from the Idea Exchange, but I'm going to get to their online resource in a minute. I want you to know what else is available in the building, such as printing, faxing, photocopying, and scanning for a nominal fee, access to public computers in timed increments, Wi-Fi, and when regulations make it available, access to study rooms and workstations. Print newspapers such as the Cambridge Times, Globe and Mail, The Record, National Post, and more are also available. They have copies of local newspapers on microfilm at the Queen Square location, and I've used this on my research on historic Galt. And what comes next is spectacular. From what's available online, the unique items that you can borrow, and the devices in the Makerspace and the Old Post Office. Feeling a little cooped up? How about taking out a puzzle or a board game? They have puzzles that start at 500 pieces with a huge variety of images and sizes. With board games, they include such popular titles as Catan, Pandemic, and Exploding Kittens, all listed in their catalog to make it easy for you to know what's available. And these are across different locations, so you can go online to see what's offered. Interested in going to our spectacular Shades Mills Conservation Area? You can use your Idea Exchange card to take out a Grand River Parks membership card. How about taking out a fishing rod, or a museum pass, or an acoustic guitar, a robotics kit, gardening tools, a stop-motion animation kit, jewelry beading kits, or a GoPro? Search for unusual stuff to borrow to see what extraordinary items that are easy to get. For online, there are ebooks, audiobooks, and magazines. Depending on what device you want to use, e-reader, tablet, computer, or other, you'll be downloading either the free Overdrive app or the Libby app from Google Play, the Microsoft Store, or the Apple Store. Yes, free! With a valid card and an internet connection, you're good to go. Interested in movies? Access over 30,000 films via Canopy online streaming platform. And there's also Hoopla, which is an online service that lets you borrow movies, TV shows, ebooks, audiobooks, digital music, and comics for you to enjoy on your computer, tablet, or phone. If you're technically challenged, like myself, there's a link to a video that explains it further, or you can contact the Idea Exchange for free one-on-one training session. And there's more! You have access online to the Canadian Reference Centre to the collection of Canadian magazines and newspapers, including Canadian Living, Maclean's, plus others. Separately, there's the Maclean's Magazine Archives to access all issues from 1905 to 2015, which is great for research or a fascinating look back on what was in the news and important to Canadians in the past. Masterfile Premier offers almost 1,700 periodicals covering business, health, science, and much, much more. And 2 more. National Geographic Virtual Library from their archives from 1888 to the present, and Press Reader, unlimited access to over 5,000 newspapers and magazines. There's online learning through Gale, which includes courses in business, healthcare, medical, plus more. And LinkedIn Learning, which is over 16,000 free online courses in business, technology, and creative skills taught by industry experts. That's a lot to take in. Now going to the Old Post Office at 12 Water Street South, the Idea Exchange with Makerspace. But first, check to see when the Makerspace is open so you won't be disappointed. This fascinating space lets you use laser cutter and engraver, 3D printers, large format printer, Cricut maker, embroidery machine, knitting machine, and more and more and more, plus various hand tools. You'll have to sign an equipment term of use and familiarize yourself with the basic guides and tutorials. On the bottom level of the old post office is the Creative Studios, which has drums, acoustic and electric guitars, a bass guitar, keyboards, and even a theremin, an instrument you play without touching it. Connect to the Jam Hub and you'll be able to make music and hear it playing live through headphones. For solo practice, you can do that too. There's a green screen and photo studio, an amazing way to create extraordinary photos, video game systems, 2 audio-visual rooms with recording and digitation equipment, and for loan, virtual reality headsets, a podcast kit, and microphones. The building itself is spectacular at 12 Water Street South. I've talked about it in my historic walks that you can see here. This stunning building was built in 1885 and at one point was bought for $12,000 by the city and was going to be torn down to provide 23 parking spaces. There's access to the second floor outdoor area that overlooks the Grand River. The view is extraordinary. On the outside of the building in the evenings from Tuesdays to Sundays after dark is a light show. With everything that I've mentioned that the Idea Exchange has to offer, you have to know that it's ever-changing, ever-developing, with programs and events that are constantly being updated. Check out their website in the description below to see what's new, what's coming up, and any changes in hours or service. The Idea Exchange, an extraordinary place in amazing Cambridge, Ontario.